guys?
Yes.
Can you
Hopefully
see
hear
us? And can you hear us? Let us know in the chat. Hey, what's up, everyone? We got Crystal Cummings. We have Jared Hodges, Thomas Franco, John Boys, 777, Mikey Nerd Talk, Larry Newbill. What's up? I think Edward Sanchez. What's up, everyone? Can you guys hear us? See us?
I love this. I love this. Is like the SNL sketch with the everyone's at home.
This week's SNL was actually really good. I
really
enjoyed it.
Last week's was like setting the bar. This week's, they've got it. They figured out what they're doing at home. I just need to make sure that we do too.
We do too, because the blur says he can see and hear us. We are doing good this week, guys.
Fantastic! That is amazing. So, Elle, what are you doing with your downtime? Like, are you watching any new shows? Trying to catch up on any movies that you haven't seen? I know there's quite a few.
I haven't really been doing anything. I actually just lost my job on Friday, so I was still working the 40-hour work week, and I have now been effectively laid off. So I am excited to catch up on, or to start catching up on some stuff. Hopefully, I've heard there's this anime called Brotherhood or something like that. I'm excited to start that.
I don't know.
Brotherhood, that's whatchamacallit?
Full Metal?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, and I also need to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's coming to Netflix in May, so I'm super excited about that too.
Okay, all right.
What about you guys?
Josh?
I'm kind of doing the same old stuff. I just recently went back to continuing my my rewatch of Star Trek: Next Generation. I started rewatching it before Picard started, but didn't make it all the way through. So now that Picard is over, I decided to go back and actually finish it. I'm like halfway through the final season now, so I don't really have that much more to go.
Oh, Josh, they say your volume is a little low, and I have to go.
Interesting. I will work on that while you guys vamp.
Daniel, tell us what you've been up to. What's going on?
I have the honor of being on the Grey's Anatomy podcast.
Nice.
So it is going to be airing, I think, next week. So that was pretty cool. I've been aiming to, like, now during this whole time of everyone doing nothing, I wanted to make sure that I was trying to do something. I want to do something creative, be out there doing more, whatever. I'm trying to create and produce a show that we will be doing here at the Illuminerdi. Has to do with food. Yay!
Nice.
I'm also producing this comedy thing, but that's somewhere else, with like a bunch of comedians where the whole concept is they get about roughly 10 minutes. And they can do a tight 10. They can do digital stuff, pre-recorded things, blah, blah, whatever it is. And it's 3 to 4 comedians each episode, and it's just called Digital Dominance. So we're trying to put that together and really produce it. So that's just what I'm doing.
Nice. Hey, so do you want to do that plug for that food show you're working on for us? What is this?
Not yet. Things out and have to get placement for the proper people. And I have to also talk to Josh. So,
Speaking about plugs, I'm not ready for one of them right now, but in about halfway through the episode, after we finish talking about Red with Envy, we do have a teaser for the Rage Cage episode for tonight coming up. Daniel has got all the information on it, so bear with us when that comes up. We'll cut away, and then we also have right after that the fan questions we got last week from Justin Nimmo. Those are ready to go, so we will play those as well.
All your support in the chat, guys. Hopefully I'll get another job soon. Hopefully. Do you have any suggestions?
Oh, yeah.
Or for all of us? Maybe we can do some more watch. Sure.
Yeah, there's a good list of stuff available on the Amazon. We can also do the Netflix watch parties, which doesn't have quite as many viewers, but the Amazon one is fun. But you guys can check out the list of everything that's available in the Amazon Prime Twitch watch parties online on Twitch's website. So if you see something that you guys want to watch with us, let us know and we can make that happen. In the meantime, Daniel, why don't you give us the rundown on this first episode, Red with Envy, not Red with Jealousy, as I inadvertently was typing to myself in my head earlier when I was making the event.
Okay, see, Josh, what you need to do first off is never admit to it. It wasn't you. It was the people in graphics and blah blah blah. We're much bigger than what people think we are, man. You have to make sure you don't. There's someone else to blame. Anyway, this episode, Red with Envy, pretty good episode. I mean, we got a lot of things happening in it, but it's a quick rundown. So we're dealing with Andros being jealous of Zayn because Zayn seems to be pushing up on his girl. At least that's what it looks like. And while that's happening, we have a little bit of plot B, which is what's happening with the bad guys. And that's where we have Ecliptor and Darkonda, but more Darkonda more than anything. Darkonda is creating a little bit of an army, almost like a clone army, if you will. Think about that. And with him building this little clone army that he has, he wants to make sure that, he's going to be able to take over the Earth because that's what he wants to do. And from there, hilarity and insanity ensues. So that's the breakdown of the episode. Now let's get into it.
Yes, let's.
Okay. Start us off with the obvious thing, Daniel. Let's go.
Ecliptor versus Darkonda. That plot line is so good. It is something, I'm sorry to say it, it's something that should be outside of this show. It is that good. It's like, damn, I love the way they're facing against each other. And it's like, there's back history. There's a backstory. And they can't reveal what it really is all the way. Like Ecliptor can't go to Astronomer and be like, well, look, he's the one that kidnapped you, but also I was in on that, and you're really this person. He can't do any of that. So he has to keep it quiet. And here goes Darkonda, always kind of hanging over his head. And these two, as far as combatants, they're pretty equal. It kind of seems like Darkonda may be much better than Ecliptor, but they're pretty good as far as combatants. So I just love that portion.
It's really fun. And more world building too, like giving backstories to all of these characters. It's a big difference from the other seasons of Power Rangers. So what do you think about it, Josh? Like, because you're new to this.
Yeah,
this is primo content for us.
I enjoyed all of that. I thought the storyline between them and everything that was going on as like the main focus of the episode was really good. I didn't like the B storyline between Zayn and Andros. And
what? That was what I was talking about. That was, to me, the meat of the episode.
Really? So
because it was like, what is going on here? Like, we talked about it last week a little bit with Ashley kind of pressing herself up on him as soon as he was like out of his cryogenic sleep.
For me, like these two episodes in general, I did not like them as much as I liked the two that we had last week. Wait. I lied. I like them better than the episode where Justin came back, but I didn't like them as good as the first episode with Zayn. I think my issue was that it's not 1997 anymore. So I'm looking at these through the lens of, okay, I'm watching these now, not back when they originally aired.
It's true.
So both of the plot lines from both of these two episodes, like the plot line from this one felt like an episode of 90210 or Melrose Place or Dawson's Creek or something. At least that relationship aspect of it. Like, even if you're watching like the CW DC shows or any of those shows that are really melodramatic and heavy on the relationship drama, it just felt really forced here, and it just kind of like took me out of what was going on with the rest of the episode.
I mean, to me, that was the most captivating because, every week there's monsters, they fight it, whatever. But man, because Andros is like, this is my best friend. He's been asleep for however many years. It's like getting out of quarantine. Like, he's thirsty. Like, this girl is throwing herself at him and seems ready and willing. Of course, like, Silver doesn't know what's going on. He's like, yo, I just woke up. This is probably the best wake-up call I've ever had or could have imagined. You know what I mean? And I was like, kind of cheering him on a little.
I mean, like I get what they were going for with the story. I felt like I can't even say that it wasn't executed well because again, back when this show was airing in real time live, it probably came across a lot different than it does now. But watching it with today's sensibilities, it felt weird. Like I feel like you guys are probably on a slightly different level than I am because you've been rewatching like the first seasons up until now, so you're kind of used to that older style. But it didn't. It was weird, and I mean I guess that's also weird for me to say because I have been watching older shows. Like I'm watching Star Trek: The Next Generation right now. I just finished watching both the first Stargate SG-1 series and like Mutant X, which came out in like 2000. So like I have been watching older shows, but because they're a different genre, it feels they were aimed for a different audience. So this just felt a little off to me.
Okay, all right. Now I've got to say something as a form of critique concerning this.
Which all right, let's hear this.
We've all thought about it already. You brought it up last week. Being honest, okay? All right, the Red Ranger until now was kind of like, I like girls. Like, he didn't really have an interest in, exactly.
Girls, I like them. They're my friends.
Hey, we're all friends. There's no such thing as an interest. We open up the episode and we finally see him after the whole Ecliptor Darkonda thing. We see him walking through the hallways, and stumbling around, trying to show that I actually am interested in the female kind and blah. No, you were not interested in women until now. You had a boner for Zayn. That's what you had. We all knew it.
Right?
You up from it, and all of a sudden, now you change it. How dare you? How dare you? You were supposed to be our gay icon. You're not anymore. I'm sorry.
But also, like, he was transitioning to women a little bit last week, too, where we had that moment where it's like, hey, Ashley Hammond, but also Astronema, and, like, is he going to kiss his sister? So...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was a little bizarre.
We've got to fix
it. That's why I like this so much more, where it's like, okay, we got the love triangle. This is interesting. We have best friend Zayn. We don't know where he fits in. He doesn't know what's going on. And I just thought, like, man, they don't seem like best friends because Andros didn't just go up to him and be like, hey, man, I know you've been asleep for, like, 20 years or whatever. Like, hey, I've been building a relationship with her for the past, like, 3 weeks. Like, do you think you can,
Well, see, that was another thing. Like, I don't know. This kind of goes back to what I was talking about last week with pacing. I don't know how much time has gone by between last episode and this episode.
Sure.
So it's hard to gauge what's happened between Andros and Zayn and Ashley and Zayn and Ashley and Andros. I don't know how they're connecting. Because obviously Zayn and Ashley have been hanging out, and she asked him, or he offered to show her how to do telekinesis stuff because that's kind of how it started out there in the beginning. But we don't know how close they got in that amount of time.
Well, they seemed like they were pretty close and super friendly. Like they definitely had more chemistry than with Andros at any point up to this.
Honestly, Zayn was like, I know what to do with girls, and Andros had no clue. So he was really slow, but Zayn was like, "Oh, I'm getting it in." Like Zayn was already ready for it. Like, "Oh, she's thirsty. I know what to do with that." Like he was ready for it.
I think this is more of an issue with how I don't know how to say this the right way. How the characters are characterized. There's a better way to phrase that. But when we first met Andros, he was very naive about how things worked on Earth. But it also seemed like that was just him in general. Like he wasn't able to tell that people were thieves. He must have run into thieves in outer space. Like I can't believe that people out in the rest of the galaxy who are shady act that much different than shady people here on Earth. It just seems like a weird thing to be naive about. Whereas Zayn, on the other hand, he kind of seems like he knows, he kind of has a handle on how things work.
Zayn is a cocky bastard. I tell you right off the bat. He
Oh,
shows
yeah.
up, he's like, "Hey, everybody, bang, bang, what's going on?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? When did Pickle Rick show up? Like, literally, when did Pickle Rick show up?"
Did Zayn grow up with Andros though? Because they're best friends. Did he grow up on Earth? Where did he grow up? Is he from K2 whatever?
KO35? I don't.
Yeah.
I believe he's from KO35.
I think so.
Okay.
The next 2 episodes, you're going to have a little bit of an answer to that too.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I was like, he seems more acclimated to Earth or to like everyone else's personality. So I was just kind of curious.
Right, and that's kind of what I was saying is that it's a weird dynamic between them because also he was asleep for 2 years and apparently that had no effect on his higher brain functions. So so it's just weird that he was able to acclimate a lot quicker to interacting with people than Andros was. Although I mean in this obviously in the next episode. There's a little more going on that makes certain things seem a little weird, but
we'll get to that in just a moment.
Thing is, maybe it may be a whole Prince and the Pauper thing because Andros was a prince, kind of sheltered, while Zayn was most likely like fucking Aladdin running around.
Oh, I like that.
That's also that's also a good theory.
So that could be the whole case. That's why Zayn is more, oh, hey, yeah, he's chill, he's with us, and he gets everything. He's the everyman versus, the prince who's like, I don't know what anything is.
Well, and Jezer in the chat here says that Zayn's more of an outgoing guy, which also I think helps play into that a little bit as well. But it's I don't know. It's just a weird dynamic to me. But as the rest of the season progresses, I'm sure it'll even itself out a bit.
Well, even as the rest of the episode progresses, when you're speaking about things that are weird, things that were awkward, that whole beach scene, it rang so true to what's happening right now. Like, literally, they need to put it together and make it a PSA for, like, a freaking quarantine. Because, like, right now, they're like, don't go to the beach because this could happen to you, and then,
What did you guys think about those monsters anyway? The Crocotoxes?
The Crocotoxes!
I don't know. The designs are not the worst that I've ever seen in my life in all of Power Rangers, so I can't hate on that. But everything is very kind of bug reptilian-like in this particular season. It's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for a pudgy pig to come along, like something kind of cute and fat and huggable.
I wasn't sure if maybe that was just a theme with the monsters that and Astronema has access to. Like maybe they're just all that because like even the copycat guy from last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. Like his regular form even seemed a little reptilian.
Yes. Where'd you go, Daniel? Hey, you're like me, just dropping the phone all over the place.
So I'm gonna get into the notes here really quick. While I'm going through those, if you guys in the chat want to put out your ratings for this episode, we will collect those and run them down before we move on to the next section here. Now, the fandom section on errors is completely empty. So I don't know,
we are getting better.
I don't know whether that means that there were no errors in this episode or whether they just haven't gotten around to putting them in. I didn't do my due diligence this week and I didn't take notes while I was watching, so now I don't remember where I noticed this, but I did notice that while Zayn was fighting one of the monsters, he's like kneeling down behind something, and the monster is exploding in the background, which I think is in front of him. And when he kneels down, right before the monster explodes, you can see that they had cut the frame to set up the explosion in the background. So there's like a small jump cut there that I noticed where like he just like all of a sudden shifts. Like maybe like a centimeter or two over from where he had been, but other than that, I didn't actually notice like any actual like continuity errors or just like flat out issues with the episode. But Daniel did.
Hey guys, I'm Daniel, first time caller, long time watcher, and why is there an issue concerning the demorphing in public when they don't live on Earth anymore?
Yeah, and no one knows who he is. Like, he just broke up out of like his ice sleep.
So I can.
It was a weird thing. It was a weird thing.
Right?
I can give you a half answer for that. Like, I don't know the actual reason, but the headcanon that I've produced for that is that...
Oh, we're getting into fanfic territory.
Well,
Everyone,
so-
get ready.
so
We are getting into
Andros-
Josh's fanfic territory.
Andros has been on Earth before, obviously, because he ran into those thieves. He was at school with them once before leaving, so he's been seen with them on Earth. So
Okay.
if Zayn is seen with the Power Rangers, like unmorphed, like him as Zayn, and then later on they're hanging out like at the whatever that cafe is that they go and hang out with, and they see him with them, then it's very likely that people are going to start going up and be like, hey, I saw you hanging out with the Power Rangers. Wait, why are you wearing yellow? Why are you wearing green?
No one's going to make that connection. They haven't made it thus far. They're not going to be able to do it, man.
No, but I don't think they're going to put together that they're the Power Rangers, but I think there's still that level of, hey, you might not want to be seen with us here fighting with us and then with these guys.
I mean,
okay, I'll take it.
That kind of makes sense to me.
It's reasonable.
Somebody may be like, oh my god, look, you're cock blocking Zayn, like, because that's going to be his name from now on.
Right, but on the other hand, Bulk and Skull have been around, a lot of them.
Well, not recently.
Not recently, but in the past, he was around, especially the Mighty Morphin cast. He was around them a lot. And he ran into the Rangers a few times, and it's like the Superman thing. He never put two and two together that the voices of the Rangers were the same as the voices of these people he knows from school.
Well, you got to part your hair a different way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, wait, I got one more thing.
Wait, you got one more? Got one more? All right.
Are we all overlooking the fact that the Silver Ranger pretty much executed Order 66 on those youngling Crocatox?
I mean, they had it coming.
But
wow, Josh.
Look, I mean, jeez.
Listen.
And everything, they were live. He just like, what the heck?
I don't
destroy aliens all the time, though.
You don't want that rating. I don't want to go off onto a super weird tangent, but random story. On Friday, I was out running a couple of errands, and I decided that I was going to go buy myself a new TV to replace the one in my room because the one in my bedroom has been acting kind of funny. So I was like, I got the cash. I'll go do it. Get to Best Buy. They've got a 70-inch, like 4K, huge, massive TV on clearance, open box for the same price that I was willing to put out for the smaller TV that I was going to get for my bedroom. So I impulse bought this huge TV. To test it out, I watched Avengers Endgame on Disney Plus because they've got the 4K UHD version.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to test it out. I forgot about the part in that movie where War Machine is like, hey, why don't we just go back to the past when Thanos was a little baby and just...
Yeah, like the baby Hitler thing.
Right. I was like, you know what? I kind of agree with that. So I'm on board with the baby Crocatoxes.
All right.
We'll talk off air. I've got something.
I'm killing some weeds in my backyard. They didn't do anything to me.
All right.
Well,
anyway, notes. We have the return of Darkonda in this episode, revealing that he has several lives, or that he just didn't die the last time we saw him.
Yeah.
The original draft title for this episode was Red with Jealousy. So I think that's where I'd gotten that from. I was probably reading these as I was setting everything up. Like Andros, Zayn also shows powers of telekinesis. We talked about that already because of the thing with Ashley. Justin Nimmo is added to the opening credits for the first time in this episode, but I mean, this is only the second episode that he's in, so that makes sense. This is the only time Andros uses the Battleizer laser blast.
Okay.
The title of the episode is obviously a pun on the phrase green with envy, and this is the debut of Zayn's morphing sequence.
Also, his morpher is not like the rest, because everyone else has
it's like a
wrist,
thinner,
and
it's
his
like
is like a
longer.
cell phone kind of thing, which I thought was interesting. So he's the odd person out, and he doesn't have a slide to go down. I'm sad for him. He doesn't get to slide. How does he morph and get out with everyone?
He doesn't.
I
No.
mean, we'll talk about this. I have some other theories.
I do like his like space surfboard a little bit better than the others, though.
I just like his color scheme in general so much better than everyone else's.
Silver and gold. I love it.
All right, so going into the ratings in the channel, we've got the Blur, who gives it a 2 out of 5. Jared Hodges, a 5 out of 5. So he really liked this episode. So I'm going to ask you, same way I ask everyone else. Not judging you for giving it a 5. I'm just asking, why do you think this deserved a 5 out of 5? Mikey Nerd Talk gives it a 3.5 out of 5. John Boys, a 3 out of 5. Thomas Franco, a 4. Layla gives it a 2.5 out of 5. Donnie Pearson just says, hey, sorry for the delay. No worries. I'm glad to have you here. Larry Newbill gives it a 4. Layla gives it an I graduated out of 5. Congratulations, Layla.
Congratulations, Layla.
Welcome to adult quarantine life outside of school, I guess.
I'm sorry. Hopefully you'll have some sort of graduation party. If not, throw your hat into the air here and we'll, I don't know.
Yeah.
Happy graduation. I feel bad for everyone that doesn't get a prom, that doesn't get a graduation ceremony.
I mean, I was never big. Like, the only graduation party that I really had was when I graduated from college the second time when I went back, just because I was like, I'm done. I'm not going back again. Like, this is it. I'm
time to party.
I was like, I'm in my 30s. I'm done.
I mean, it's smart. It makes sense. F it.
Let's see. Edward Sanchez, same question. 5 out of 5. Why did you enjoy this episode so much? And again, no judgment for me. Just curious. Let's see. Shining Ryan Hopper gives it a 4. And the Blur also says that he bought a new TV. What kind of a TV did you buy? Mine is a Vizio. Quantum M series, I think. So, Daniel, what is your rating for this episode?
Originally, this episode was going to get a kind of like a 3, but then as I continued to watch it, I enjoyed so much that happened to it. I actually watched this episode twice and kind of caught some things that were like, hey, this is interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, I see what you're sprinkling through here. So, it got a 5. 5 out of 5.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's
unexpected.
Impressive.
Elle, what about you?
I thought I was rating it extremely high by giving it a 4. I do like the relationship drama, and I'm excited to see more of Zayn and Andros getting a little more backstory. How close are they? Does he know about his missing sister? How long have they been looking for her? So I'm interested in the world building. What about you, Josh?
I am going to go middle of the road. I did enjoy the episode, but like I said, it was somewhere in between the episodes from last week. So I'm going to give it a solid 3. I didn't hate it. I don't think it was bad. I just thought some of the pacing and the relationship drama was kind of
understandable,
middle of the road.
Yeah,
we get you.
Let's see. Man. The Blur says that he got a 55-inch LG Nano Cell TV. That is one of the ones that I was looking at. That's a really nice TV. Congratulations on the purchase.
Well, all right. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear that, during the quarantine, somebody's still balling out. That's good.
And Daniel, your time has come.
Oh my gosh, here it is. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I'm so not.
All right, those of you in the chat, turn down your volume maybe like 2 to 3 notches. But here we go.
A scotch.
Yeah, let's go.
You ready, steady?
Ready,
steady.
The WWE of debate. Bridging subjects across all of pop culture. Rage Cage pits 2 people against each other in a quick-paced battle. 2 contestants enter, 2 contestants leave. Yeah, I know, not that special, but hey, they leave with the intellectual property to know that they are superior to someone else. Well, it's really because, the audience chose who wins. The debate for the series premiere, who is a better time traveler? Is it Rick and Morty's Rick Sanchez, or is it Marvel's Doctor Strange? Find out who reigns supreme tonight, right before the Illuminerdi's Wrestling Order. Which will start at 7:45, right before the Illuminerdi's Wrestling World Order.
And here we go with your special preview of the show.
Now, we're not going to let the craziness of the world stop us from settling some of the greatest debates in geek history. Welcome to the first episode of Rage Cage, the ultimate debate ring, where two nerds enter and one nerd leaves. Now, we're not going to let the craziness of the world stop us from settling some of the greatest debates in geek history. Welcome to the first episode of Rage Cage, the ultimate debate ring, where two nerds enter and one nerd leaves. Now, we're not going to let...
We're back!
Awesome! What did you guys think of that? Are you guys excited for Rage Cage? Let us know in the chat. And if you already have predictions of who is going to win, let us know.
Yeah, Danny and I were talking about this earlier, much to Elle's annoyance, but we both of us know who.
Dude, it was 57 notifications. I was gone for like an hour and came back to 57 notifications of nothing that had to do with anything.
That happens to me all the time. All the time. It's because you know it's one of those things where a conversation starts that just kind of like springs off of something else, and you just forget that there's other people involved in that chat with you. So it just like just completely goes off.
I'm going to be honest, that's probably why I didn't see your original notification about no watch party, because I saw the original post, and then I saw 57, I was like, I swiped them all to like Marcus Brad.
Done. You know what's
that was
I've
got
problem. I've got my phone connected to my computer, so like I can see my text messages and make calls through my laptop when I'm sitting on my laptop, so I don't have to look at my phone. But if my computer is off, when I turn it back on, every notification that I got on my phone will just like start popping up on my computer. So I do that like all the time too. I'm like, no, go away. I'm just trying to see the screen here. Stop. Stop.
Speaking about popping up, let's talk about this very special episode of Power Rangers that has to deal with ED or impotence. Because
wait, did we watch the same episode?
Look,
wait. So
it was a Blue Chew commercial. It was so sad. They call him the two-minute ranger. I was like, oh, jeez, poor guy here.
Two things really quick before we get into this. First, do you guys want to talk about this next episode first, or do we want to watch the Justin Nimmo fan question interviews first?
Oh, let's do the Nimmo fan interview.
Want to do those?
Yeah.
This episode isn't too much. Do it.
Or do we want to make them watch until the end of our episode? Force you guys to get through this next episode so that way you can get some Nimmo action.
All right, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Silver Secrets. My other note to you, Daniel, is turn your phone down just a little bit because your chin is kind of getting cut off there at the bottom of the screen. Perfect.
There you go. Looking good.
All right. So, which one of you wants to give us the rundown on this episode while I pull up the notes and everything?
Well, basically, he was just pretending... Like, I don't know why they would assume that he was dying because he couldn't morph. But
no, it was because Alex said you don't have time left, and that's what they heard him say.
Oh, that's where it all started. Sorry, not even paying attention.
So,
they just assumed he was dying, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to let them keep thinking I'm dying so I can reap all these benefits. And you know what? Can't say I would do anything different. That was a shady move, though. That was a shady move. I admit it. But honestly, like, if they're going to give me some extra food and, like, some pampering, kind of deserve it if you've been under ice for, like, 2 years and you haven't had a lot of human contact. You want people to care about you.
Come on.
So I'm going to go back to kind of what I was saying about the last episode with it feeling kind of like a 1990s, like, late 90s sitcom plot.
Yeah.
So last week we were talking about the episode of Family Matters that JDF had a cameo appearance in.
Oh yeah, where he was a bully.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna talk about that episode now, but I did go back and I watched that episode just because I was like, I got 20 minutes, I can watch an episode of Family Matters. So of course I watched an episode of Family Matters, and then I watched another episode of Family Matters, and then I watched another episode of Family Matters. So one of the episodes after that one, or it might have been before that one, I don't remember now, but one of their neighbors came over and was complaining about something inside Winslow's household, and he turned to walk out and he slipped on a toy car and fell down, and he was pretending that he was like stuck in a wheelchair and like had a neck injury in order to curry favor with them and to get them to basically wait on him hand and foot. So I was like, oh, that's this.
It's a trope. It's a trope of 90s serial.
It was just I just find it really. I mean, this is super coincidental because we were just talking about the DDF episode of Family Matters last week, and then I watched that, and then watching Power Rangers this week, and that same plot line is copied right over.
Boom! Hey, it's synergy, man. That's just the way it works. But
okay, Josh, which one did you like better, though? Do you think Family Matters did it better, or do you think Power Rangers pulled that off better? What say you? And then for those of you in the chat that have seen it, I want to know what you think too.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to go with Family Matters.
Wow. Why? Because I have not seen that episode probably since it aired when I was a kid. So
because of the way it was resolved. It was resolved in a similar fashion, but I feel like Family Matters executed it a little bit better.
Okay. All right. Well, we got to go back and rewatch that particular episode now that Josh has brought that up.
The blur says that he remembers the plot line from Lois and Clark, so I'm gonna have to find that one too.
Wow.
Oh man, we should just do like crossover episodes of like who tackled this theme better.
That would be great. That would be great. That can be once everything from Prime goes up on the Amazon watch parties, we'll see what TV shows we can find on Prime that we can do that with. So we can do like watch alongs of episodes that all have the same basic plot.
So
tune in for that.
Kind of speeding through. I mean, most of that that we just talked about was a lot of the episode, but there was a moment where Zayn took a trip up the mountain, and when
why did he walk up the mountain? Why didn't he just teleport to the top of the mountain?
You know what? I don't know, but immediately the one thing I thought about was Elle can do exactly what he's doing. That's
or
all
if I had like a flying jet ski, I would have just landed on top of the mountain.
I mean, I agree. I absolutely agree with you, Elle, but at the same time, that shot was just like
the thunder, like yes,
like it was very
the Benjamin Franklin with the key and the kite.
Tron, like the Drew Struzan poster for both Tron and the one for Star Wars where Luke has the lightsaber up above his head.
Yes.
And for Tron, he's got the disc up above his head. And
it's also all for like what Lino? What is that called?
Yeah, Thundercats. I think there was also like one of the vacation movies had a similar poster with Chevy Chase doing something like that too. So I like that. That's just like an iconic pose. So like after watching that, like for me it was almost like and apparently I started paying attention to this last week. Every time they defeat a monster now, they turn around so it explodes behind them and they're facing the camera. Like that's just a thing, and I don't know why.
They got their sunglasses
I just
on.
love that so much that it doesn't matter anything else is happening. It's just a great shot.
But also the thing that was interesting, like I said, Elle does rock climbing. Elle could have done that scene a whole lot better. Bravo Elle. But also besides that, it clearly was like a poster for the Darwin Awards. They wanted to get on top of buildings and hold their cell phone up and get hit by lightning. So this way, hey, we don't have to worry about this audience. They're aging out.
I thought he was going to throw his phone into the lightning storm, not climb up a mountain and hold it till he could get electrocuted.
I was a little
microwave, man.
I was a little impressed with that technology though. Like his morpher didn't get shorted out by the lightning. Like it was That's 1.21 gigawatts of electricity that just like shot right through him.
The phone did not burn up. I was like, okay, clearly it's not a Samsung. You know, so
it was a Nokia. It was those old school Nokia phones for sure.
Things live forever. Those things live forever. So, I mean, And also, moving on in the episode, I gotta say, genius plan from the bad guys. Hey, let's go ahead.
Whoa! I knew Daniel.
I thought you were falling.
Yes.
No, my phone was falling.
Not happening to me anymore. Yes. I knew Daniel. As far as the bad guy, the plan, okay, we're gonna tie him up and we're gonna explode. We're gonna kill him once his time thing runs out. That is very dark and very smart. I love the transition that we are having with these villains.
Yeah. That was
For sure.
I absolutely agree with that. Like it was still. I mean, it's Power Rangers, so you know it's always going to be kind of hokey. But the actual idea behind that plan itself, I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, agreed. It's pretty good.
And then, last but not least, coming to the end of the episode, when they all found out. And they were like all kind of pissed and getting back at him. My one moment was just like everyone was getting their digs in, and then here comes Alpha at the end. Like, that's what the man said. You were in it with me. You didn't tell them earlier. You flipped it. Show up out of nowhere.
Dude, that's right.
I've been like, literally, when he said that's what the man said, I would have looked at him like, that's what the man said? Shut the fuck up, Alpha. Like, I really like, you were there with me, and all of a sudden now you're gonna go over there with F you, dude. Like, I swear to God, pour some water on you when nobody's paying attention. Let's see what happens then.
Put some CDs in his back.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, Eminem, no, and he just dies. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't have did it.
So again, there are no errors listed for this episode.
Nice.
And like I said before, I can't remember which episode that like weird jump cut was in. But other than that, I didn't notice any other weird things in this episode. What about you guys?
No.
I was just too engaged. I actually really liked this episode. Thought it was pretty funny.
I enjoyed this one a lot better than the last one. I like that is absolutely for sure. I don't know. I don't know that it was a better episode. I just know that I liked it more, if that makes sense.
You know what we should do?
It was fun.
Instead of going to the notes, skip the notes. Let's get over to see exactly what Zayn himself had to say during the interview. And while we're running that, what people can do is go ahead and start giving us your ratings. So once we come back from that, we'll get to your ratings, guys.
Yo, that transition. Let's do it.
All right.
Good job,
get ready. In 3, 2, 1.
Ranger Nation, we are here with the first Silver Ranger, Justin Nimmo, from one of the most popular seasons of Power Rangers in Power Ranger history. How you doing, Justin?
Super, yes.
I saw that you just did that digital con. We live in crazy times right now. How was that experience?
It was actually pretty cool. It was fun just to be able to get to see my friends' faces and stuff like that. You're not really able to see all the comments coming in from the people to be able to answer the questions, so I have to go back and do that after the recording stopped, I guess.
Now, quick question with Power Rangers in Space. You guys, when's the last time all of you guys were actually together? I know that Patty was the only one missing from that stream, but when was the last time that you guys all saw each other?
Like literally everybody under the same roof at the same time?
Yeah.
At the rap party?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we gotta make it happen and get all you guys together.
It's really hard to get more than 2 people together at one time, but to get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now there's at least 10 people that you could throw together, and to try to make all 10, wow, you're making miracles happen.
Now you gave me a new goal to strive for. Now we got our first question from one of the fans, Jared Hodges. He asks, how is it working with Chris and becoming the 6th Ranger through the audition for the season of Power Rangers in Space?
You know, I didn't have an audition with Chris. Kind of weird, but I didn't actually meet him until I was hired and on the set. But he was told that he wasn't supposed to like me. in real life, I guess, so that it would portray over in the character. But after, I don't know, a couple of weeks, I guess, he decided Nemo's not so bad, and we hung out. And then I tried to kill him.
Now, John Boys 777 says, if you could incorporate something in your season that didn't happen, what would it be?
Baby Zanes.
Baby Zanes, huh? You an astronomer with some baby Zanes?
Yeah, you imagine that?
I bet you it's in some Boom Studios comic somewhere coming up soon.
It should be if it's not.
Pikachu Master 542 asks, in one season that what was the one scene that took you the most takes?
Probably the cupcake scene where Astronomer's like blowing me up or something, and I've got to eat cupcakes off the end of her sword thing, staff, whatever it is. Yeah, I got so fed up of cupcakes, I was sick.
Larry Newell asks, what's something you think in space fans should appreciate about your character Zayn?
Like something that appreciate that they don't already know?
Yeah.
Good question. I would say that my personality is Zayn's personality, so I didn't have to act to be somebody else. Zayn and I are one.
Are back on.
Oh, well, we're back on.
sorry, I did not give you any notice with that. All of a sudden, because I couldn't hear the interview on my end. So all of a sudden, I saw the end transition. I was like, oh shit, we gotta go now. So we're back.
Well, let's rock it.
So hopefully you guys gave us your ratings, and we'll be checking up on those very soon. If we don't have them yet, it's okay. What we can do, Elle, what's your rating so far in this episode?
Well, I thought this was a pretty fun episode. I'm rating it the same as the other. I'm giving it a 4. It was fun. I don't think it's the most influential episode yet, but I had a good time.
Cool.
Who's
Josh,
next?
you got?
I'm not going up that much from my last rating. Like it's still getting a higher rating. I'm giving it a 3.5. Because
Nice.
I thought it was better than the last one. Again, this wasn't a great episode, but it wasn't a bad episode either. It was enjoyable, but I am fully expecting there to be better episodes coming up.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I'm being a little conservative.
Holding back.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like I don't want to give it too high because I know there are some other episodes still coming through that may be better. This one was kind of okay. It was a moderate C, so this one's getting a 3.
I did like the villain. I thought the Manus like it actually looked like a Manus. Like it was the costume was
The
was
little
pretty
bug
good.
eyes and
So I did enjoy that. I think that also played into me enjoying this a little bit more because while I like the Crocodixes, I thought the Mantis just was a better overall looking than the other one. In the chat, we've got John Boys, who gives it a 2 out of 5. Jared Hodges gives it a 5. The Blur gives it a 2.5. Mikey Nerdtalk gives it a 3. Thomas Franco gives it a 3.5. Layla gives it a 3.5. The Blur wonders if Justin Nimmo had to dye his hair. I'm going to say
probably.
yes. Because
Yes.
as you can see in the interview, under the hat, he had dark hair, not blonde.
Same with the eyebrows and everything too.
Yeah.
You're not platinum blonde if you.
If your eyebrows look like mine, you don't have naturally
Funny
blonde
enough,
hair.
I know the answer. I'm gonna make it quick. He had to dye it blonde, and then after that, he had to dye the tips platinum.
Really?
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Sure.
Shining Ryan Hopper gives it a 4, and Edward Sanchez Production also gives it a 4. So everyone, it seems like the chat here overall, like if we average everyone together, 3.5 is right. Yeah, is right about in that middle range. So everyone seemed to, in a general sense, everyone seemed to agree with us.
Cool. I mean, it sounds like we did a good show today, guys.
I think
What are
so.
our plugs? What are we watching after this, guys? And where are we watching it?
So tonight at 7:45 right here on YouTube, we will have the full episode of Rage Cage where Brandon and Sam go head to head to try and convince you whether Doctor Strange or Rick Sanchez is better at time travel. And you will have a chance to vote on your answers. I actually don't know how they're doing the voting system. That might be in the comments. It might be a Twitter post.
You got to tune in.
Up. You'll have to wait and find out by watching the episode. Then immediately following the episode of Rage Cage will be tonight's episode of the Illuminerdi Wrestling Order, where among everything else that's going on in wrestling this week, they will also be discussing the future of the WWE 2K franchise. It was announced last week during a conference, stockholders conference call, that there's not going to be a WWE 2K21, and that they are making an announcement about it and what's happening tomorrow. So get your speculation on what that could possibly be tonight, if that is something that you're interested in. And then after that, Shay and I will be hopping onto the Twitch to play more of DC Universe Online. Daniel may be joining us as well. Toku might be joining us. I know he said that he downloaded it, so we'll see who all we can get involved in this. And if you guys make enough noise, next week maybe we'll do a Jackbox party if I can get enough of the Illuminerdi crew together.
Whoa,
to
Josh!
Play.
Whoa,
I am sorry.
Whoa.
I will go and flog myself.
I'm gonna just push you.
I'm gonna go throw myself down the stairs after we end here.
All right. Well, that's it for us. It was great. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, thank you from. We're gonna make sure Josh doesn't speak right now. Thank you from Josh. we want to make sure that we were not sued. And thank you, Elf. Great show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We can't wait to see you guys next week right here on the Illuminerdi. All right.
All right. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Peace.